Hey, what is going on, everybody? I have got another Team Fortress 2 gameplay commentary for you today, and today we're going to be playing some Spy. And you all know me, I love my Spy, and you all know me, I love my Badwater. Badwater is my favourite map, and Spy is my favourite class. And today, if you have read by the title, this is going to be a Survivalist Spy Set video. And you guys loved my first Survivalist Spy Set video, and the Survivalist Spy Set is a set that I say would describe as, well, it's hence the name really. It's inspired from Mr. Paladin, who is a spy YouTuber. He's actually linked on my channel, and he called it the Survivalist Spy Set. And I, when I made my first video, I asked if I could use that name, and he said it was okay. So again, thank you to Mr. Paladin. This is inspired by him, and the set is the L'Étranger pistol, the Dead Ringer, and the Spicicle knife. And this set allows you to survive for the longest, in my opinion, in TF2 Spy, really. And you can get some really long lifetimes, and I've talked about this in my other video, that you can maybe have a different not different, but a longer life as a spy if you're maybe using the cloak and dagger and just sitting still in a corner. But I class the time count as being active, and this definitely does. When you play spy in this set, you can definitely feel that you are surviving a lot longer. But I have said in the other Survivalist Spy Set video that just because you're surviving longer doesn't mean you're going to do better, because it's fair enough surviving, but you need to be active, and active is basically stabbing, moving about, getting things done, zapping, etc, etc. So throughout this video I am very active, and again, hence by the title, this will be a my highest spy scoring game ever. But it's not a spoiler because you don't know what points I get. I could scrape the sky barrier, or I could just knock 1 point off my record. So I like having a record and being able to remember, or have a game where I've recorded my highest game, but I like having a record. I did have a game on on my old hard drive before my computer broke, which was my high scoring one. I won't tell you what the score was on that, but it was actually lower than on this one, and that used to be my highest, and that was on Upward. And I actually made that video, it just didn't get uploaded because it was on a schedule, and it was just me being lazy not uploading it, and eventually my hard drive just broke and I lost it. But in that video, which is lost forever, I talked about how to top score and how to break your point records and some of the things that you need. So in this video, it's quite a long video, I probably will be talking about that as well. And the reason I just want to talk about Badwater just for a few seconds, and the reason I like Badwater so much is it's just such a great map for spy. There's so many different health packs, there's so many different ammo packs, there's so many different routes, there's different paths, there's high traffic areas, low traffic areas, there's different heights, different levels, low, high, etc, etc. And Stabby, who I'm quite an avid follower of, he's actually a spy YouTuber. He's probably one of the best spies in TF2. He plays Spy Highlander on the UGC team. I think it's Syndicate, and they actually won the finals for UGC, and UGC is a competitive gaming tournament which the two best teams in the world compete against each other in the grand final, and Stabby was the spy on the winning team, so I'm going to class him as the winning spy. And Stabby, he said that Badwater is a spy's playground, and he's right really, because he's quite a big trick stabber. I'm not really a big trick stabber, but there is so many opportunities here. There's stairs, there's loads of blind corners, there's jump spots, it is a spy's playground. It is really good for spy, and that's why I've got a lot of spy gameplays. It's one, because I play the map a lot, and two, just because it's a very good map for spy. Kind of similar to Gold Rush as well. I've had quite a few on Gold Rush, but I'm playing on the Wireplay server, which I always play on. It's really the only server that I know which is very reliable 24/7 really. I do have other reliable servers, just sometimes they either have just people messing about in them, not enough people in them, or the ping is high, or the connection's low, or something like that. But this is the only server really which I can rely on. It's got a nice map rotation. It's not too big and it's not too small. 3 maps is fine for me. Gold Rush, Badwater, and Upward. And those are 3 map rotations, and a lot of my subscribers now just regularly play on it without me even being there, so they probably added it to their favourites, and they're quite right really, because it is a very good server, and it was lucky that I stumbled across it really. It's one of the only, well, it is the only server to have that map rotation, and it's quite a unique map rotation. It's usually like Badwater, Gold Rush, Dust Bowl, and sometimes I don't like those servers because the rotation of the Dust Bowl and Gold Rush, they don't change the stage of Gold Rush or Dust Bowl much, which is not very good. I like to play all the different stages, and that's why I try to get that variety of gameplay. But the gameplays you mostly see are those 3 maps, and there will be the odd other maps, but the reason sometimes you don't see them is because the reliability of the servers. And if you guys have any servers that you know or you can trust which have nice map rotations, maybe some custom maps in there as well, then please do tell me, because I do look for new servers, and I don't just want to play the same old maps all the time. But I will stick to these regularly when I just want to either have fun or just do a quick recording session or whatever. And the deal was with this video was the Why Play server is empty sometimes, and I join in and I invite my subscribers to come and play with me to try and get the server full. And they'd all joined, they were all great about that, but most of them had actually left at this point, but the server was full. So I think there was only a couple of subscribers really, I think, and they were both on the blue team as well, and obviously I'm on the red team, and usually I do best defending as Spy. I love defending as Spy. I keep talking about this in all my videos, but I should probably talk about the Survivalist Spy Set. And if you haven't seen the first video, why it's a Survivalist Spy Set, why it helps you survive for the longest, well, point 1 is obviously the Spicicle. The Spicicle, it allows you not to get burned by pyros, which is kind of a huge deal, because the more active you get a spy, the more rage pyros will come, or the more avid the spy check will be, the more regular, and you probably end up dying a bit more often. That's why it's sometimes hard to keep consistent as spy. But yeah, the Spicicle stops you from getting burnt and allows you to make a safe getaway from like a pyro or something like that. And it also hides the kills in the kill cam, not in kill cam, this isn't Call of Duty, the kill feed. And some people don't know that it actually does hide the kills in the kill feed. But the downside is it does leave these massive ice statues, but I don't really see that as much of a downside compared to its other bonuses, so that helps you pretty much escape any pyro situation. And the Spicicle, in combination with the Dead Ringer, it provides one of the most convincing deaths in TF2. Even though there is that Spicicle sound, when a pyro's spraying and they keep holding down the trigger, it's unlikely that they're going to hear that sound. And the L'Étranger pistol, which is part of the Survivalist Spy Set, is used because of its cloak bonus really. And sorry, I have to keep swallowing, but its cloak bonus, basically when you hit someone you get a cloak bonus, and that allows you to charge your Dead Ringer faster, make another feint, and be invisible and get away safely again. And also the Dead Ringer, it lets you take something ridiculous, like when you are under the Dead Ringer you take 90% less damage. I can't remember the exact stats, but yeah, basically you will know when you play this that you are surviving a lot more often and your lives are a lot longer. But don't be tempted, and don't think that this is or I'm calling this the best spy set in the game, because it's definitely not. It's just one to survive. So if surviving is a priority, then this is the set for you. But I definitely wouldn't recommend this for players that are maybe new to the spy, because as a spy you don't want to get into bad habits, and I would actually class the Spicicle as a bad habit, because spies use the Spicicle as a barrier for pyros, and they get used to not having to escape pyros, and you need to learn how to escape a pyro without actually having a Spicicle, and that's a major thing that you need to learn in TF2, and it's very important. So I wouldn't use this set to start with. I would just use probably the standard vanilla set, maybe add the Dead Ringer to that, but the Dead Ringer is actually quite a hard learning curve. It took me a while to work out that weapon. So yeah, the Survivalist Spy Set on Badwater on defense, and now I'm going to talk a little bit about how you really can top score, how you can break your own records, and it's really a combination of a mix of things, and people can get confused sometimes when they ask me. I've got a lot of people asking me, do you always do this good? Do you always get top score? Do you always break 50-point barriers? Do you do this? Do you do that? And no, I don't. I don't always do this. I have good games, I have bad games. I'm like any TF2 player. I can imagine maybe Stabby doesn't have bad games, but he'll probably have one every now and then. But I usually have maybe one bad game in a session and the rest medium, and then maybe 2 or 3 good games in that session. And let's say a session is 2 or 3 hours of playing TF2. So I don't always get these high scoring games, and if you play with me, you do know that I don't always get top score because I like to play other classes. I like to be a team player, and if I play maybe Pyro, I'm probably not going to top score because I'm not a very good Pyro, but I just do it to help my team out and maybe air blast Ubers, burn, whatever a Pyro does. Not played Pyro in a while, to be honest. But if I don't play a certain class for a while, it's because somebody else is playing that class, and Sniper is one of those classes that I actually really enjoy, but there's so many people playing it all the time, and it's kind of the same with Spy, but Spy is one of those classes that people easily get turned off from, because it's got it's very hard to keep consistent as a Spy. With a soldier, you can carry on shooting your rockets, but as a Spy, the enemies become more and more aware of you, and it's hard to keep consistent. And sometimes the gameplay can actually deteriorate throughout the game, so you actually get worse as the game goes on. And a good Spy can keep consistent or even get better towards the end of the game, and that's something you need to try and learn, really. Yeah, but I keep getting off track, and I should be talking about how you really top score and how you really break your own records. So the way I have broken my records with all the classes is a combination of things, and I was talking about how people get confused with that you need bad players to get your top scores. This is a myth, and this is wrong, because if you play in a Valve server, you're never going to break your own records. Why? Because the players are so bad that they're not going to be in places you'd expect them to be. So maybe a medium player would be in a high traffic area. A bad player would be walking in a completely different place, or a stupid place that you wouldn't expect. Their also movements are actually less predictable, and I know this sounds stupid that they're a bad player and the movements are less predictable, but think about it. They don't know how to dodge, they don't know how to strafe, rocket jump, and you are used to having to play against good enemies that can rocket jump, that can strafe, that can dodge, etc, etc, etc. So these bad players, it's not going to work for you, trust me. A Valve server will not get you high scores, and it's not a good place to be in TF2 anyway. You're never going to learn anything from playing in a Valve server. The second thing, so that's the confusion basically. I haven't said the first thing yet, but the first thing you need is a long ass game, and trust me, you need a long game, because think about it, you're going to need as much points as you can get to break your own record, and this game goes right to the very last second. I'm going to be a spoiler of that. It goes on for as long as it could possibly go, literally. And so yeah, once you've got that, you've then got a lot of time to get a lot of points. So next, what you need to do is you need to find what works. So find what works. Find which enemies are stupid. Find which enemies maybe can't have a spy sense, I call it. Well, they can't predict when you're coming. Find their weaknesses, exploit them, find the areas where you get common stabs. This is a very nice shot here. That pistol shot was absolutely amazing. I'm going to toot my own horn there. That was very good. I'm a bad shot with a pistol, and I couldn't believe that I hit that. But yeah, so you need to find what works and then rinse and repeat. Spy is all about rinse and repeat. So if you find one corner where you can get a stab every time you go around it, keep doing it. Don't change what you're doing until it stops working. The third thing is, I'm trying to think what the third thing is actually. What is the third thing? Well, stay close to the objective is my point, because what you gonna do is you want to try and win, because you're likely to get more points if you win. That's generally the rule. So basically, have a long game, find the weak players, or find the players that don't have as much spy sense, find the areas which work, and stay close to the objective, because that's where they're going to be, and then just rinse and repeat, and rinse and repeat. And that's really my only advice I can give you to top score. That's just what I do, and I don't intentionally top score. Sometimes I can know when I'm going to get a good score, but that's only near the end of the game. I never say in the start of the game, yep, I'm going to break my own record today. I never think that, because you don't know the course of the game. You've got to play with the flow. You've got to still be unpredictable even though you are near the end of the game. And with this Survivalist Spy set, you've got to trick your enemies, because even if they are not Highlander class enemies, you're going to have to do these switch routes like I'm doing here. I've got a pyro chasing me, but I keep switching my paths, I keep tricking him, making him run away, and this lets me free up the opportunity to get this laggy ass stab on that soldier. And the game actually is very, very tense in this point. I think there's about 1 minute 45 left. And yeah, it is very tense, because obviously I wanted to win this game, because winning for me is the icing on the cake, the cherry on the ice cream sundae or whatever. The cherry on the top, that's what I was saying. Basically, winning is what will show me how many points I've got. It'll show that I'm the best player, and it just makes me feel good, because you know that all your work has paid off, and this is why I wanted to win, and my blood was pumping. You'll see in the end why. It was absolutely crazy what happened in the end. It's one of those things that just never usually happens, and I started saying, you know what, I've got to get good. I've got to get these chain stabs. I've got to slow down the enemy. I have got to make an impact. And I was telling my team, hold it, just do whatever you can. I was telling them, get an engineer. Somebody actually went engineer, thank God. God bless them. Hail Mary, Mother of Jesus, whatever. Yeah, so the cart is actually pretty far away. We've got 40 seconds. There's not many people on the cart. Well, look where we are. We are actually pushing them quite far back, and I decided to stay near the cart because I needed to, really, because I knew that it was going to get tense, and I know that they were going to make a push, because every point they captured in this game, it was like 10 seconds before the thing. Like, so they had like 10 seconds left, and then they miraculously pushed the cart. And this is the one where it got close. Look now, there's people on the cart. Look where I am. I decide, oh god, oh god, oh god. I've got to try and make an impact. I've got to go. I just run there. I run, and look at this. It's an absolute mess. Look, we've been outnumbered. Oh my god. Oh, I got 2 stabs, and I just stayed on the cart. I dead ringed it out, and I just stood there, and I took the damage, and we won the game. And that made me feel so good. I felt incredible after that game, and it's those moments in TF2 which make it such an amazing game, and why I love to play Spy. So, thank you for watching episode 2, I would probably call it, of the Survivalist Spy Set, and my highest scoring game ever. I believe I got something like 80 something points, and it's the first time I broke the 80 point barrier, and my previous high scoring gameplay was like a 70 point for heavy, but yeah, this was a massive one. So thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.